you need water to eradicate, to cleanse yourself of all impurities. And then you get the ratio of tayammum, that is in the absence of water, what you need to purify yourself and to eradicate all impurifications. Now we are going to deal with the issue of how these purities can be taken away, how they can be wiped out, how they can be cleansed up, how can you get rid of all the forms of purities or impurities that you have. And this is dealt in a chapter called Bab Hakam Izala and Najasah. I will ask Sheikh to do the name comment on
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم اغفر لنا ولمشايخنا ولجميع المستمعين. قال المؤلف حفظه الله: باب في أحكام إزالة النجاسة. وكما أنه مطلوب من المسلم أن يكون طاهرا من الحدث إذا أراد الصلاة، وكذلك مطلوب منه طهارة البدن والثوب والبقعة من النجاسة. قال تعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: وثيابك فطهر. وأمر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المرأة بغسل دم الحيض ثوبها.
Let's take a full explanation. وكما أنه مطلوب من المسلم, just as it is required from a Muslim أن يكون طاهرا من الحدث إذا أراد الصلاة, it is required of a Muslim to be in the state of purity, free from all kinds of najasah, that is impurities. It is also required that he be or becomes the one who would be pure at all times if when he was in the salah. So, Taharatul min al-badan, that is, it has to be what? In himself, physically, it has to be clean. The body must be clean. So, not only the body must be clean, but what?
Allahumma mu'allima Ibrahim alimna mufahima Sulaiman fahima. We are going to pick up from where we left off. And as you have seen previously, we were dealing with kafara, how the fasting should be made up. If someone misses fasting, those who are supposed to fast, but they do miss it, and they have kafara, and then one of them happens to die, now he's going to make up for it. But how? Somebody who is dead, are you going to ask him to fast? No, he cannot do that. So it will make up for him from what? From the terika. In other words, his inheritance. Now, he's going to feed, or his hair is going to feed on his behalf, feed the poor for the number of days that he missed. Now, so we are going to pick up from there. And so I'm asked the Sheikh to start reading and then tell him the page. وإن مات من عليه صوم كفارة وإن مات من عليه صوم نذر.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم اغفر لنا ولمشايخنا ولجميع المستمعين. قال المؤلف حفظه الله: وإن مات من عليه صوم نذر استحب لوليه أن يصوم عنه، لما ثبت في الصحيحين أن امرأة جاءت إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقالت: إن أمي ماتت وعليها صيام نذر أفأصاموا عنها؟ قال: نعم، والولي هو الوارث.
وإن مات من عليه صوم نذر. What if someone dies and he has fasting to make up for? This fasting is called Som Nadar. What is Nadar? Someone makes a promise. He vows to make fasting for one reason best known to himself. Now, maybe he was successful. Maybe he says to himself, if I am successful in my board examination, I'm going to fast to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's possible. Now, so he passes his board examination. So the fasting becomes what? Obligatory upon him to fast. But in the process, he dies. Is he going to get away from this? No, he has to, because something that you made promise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to fulfill the promise. If you are dealing for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to fulfill all obligations. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu awfu bil uqud, fulfill all obligations. Now, similarly, he's going to fast, but this is how. Istuhiba li waliyihi an yasuman. His hair, one who inherits him, is going to fast on his behalf. But how is he going to fast? لما ثبت في صحيح أن امرأة جاءت إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقالت, a woman, according to Aisha, came to our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam and then said, Inna ummiya matat wa alayha sawm nadhar. My mother died, and upon her is what? Fast of another, which she has to make up for. Afa asuma anha, do I fast for her? Do I fast for her? Qala nam, as our Rasul said in the affirmative, you have to fast for her. Wali huna al-warith, that is the wakil here, the representative is supposed to be what? Her hair, the one who is going to inherit the legacy, bequeathed by the person who has died. Now, so here's the difference. We say that if someone dies and he has to fast or kafara, you cannot fast for him or her who has died. Why? Because ibadah la tadkhuluha aniyaba. No one deputizes for someone to make salah, for example. If someone does not make salah, can you make salah for him? No. But why another? After another, you can make what? The fasting for him or her. He dies. Why? There's a difference. Because salah is an obligation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Initially, it was obligated, made incumbent upon you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right from the word go, from the beginning. But another, it not come from Allah initially. You made it obligatory upon yourself. Since that is the case, you have to what? By all means, you have to what? Fast. And you are not there to fast, so your wali or your warith, your hair, must fast on your behalf. Not just it'am, not to feed people out of your legacy. No, actual physical fasting. Just to say, here's the difference. Are you going on well? Alhamdulillah. طيب. Let's run through and then have this finished. قال ابن قيم
قال ابن القيم رحمه الله يصام عنه النذر دون الفرض الأصلي، وهذا مذهب أحمد وغيره، والمنصوص عن ابن عباس وعائشة وهو بمقتضى الدليل والقياس، لأن النذر ليس واجبا بنص الشرع، وإنما أوجبه على نفسه وصار بمنزلة الدين.
طيب نعم. This is proof of what we have just said. قال ابن القيم رحمه الله يصام عنه النذر دون الفرض الأصلي. After another, you are going to fast, actual fasting. Now, دون الفرض الأصلي, but not the obligatory fasting that was made incumbent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you cannot fast physically. But that's for another, you are going to fast what? Physically. لماذا؟ وهذا مذهب أحمد. This is the madhab, school of thought of Ahmed and others. والمنصوص عن ابن عباس وعائشة, also sourced out from Ibn Abbas and then Aisha as well. وهو مقتضى دليل والقياس is based upon what? دليل and also an analogy. Now, why? لأن النذر is an analogy. لأن النذر, because this vow or the promise ليس واجبا بأصل الشرع, was not mandated, was not made necessary by the original law. Now, is another obligatory upon Muslims? No, but we make it obligatory upon ourselves. وَإِنَّمَا أَوْجَبَهُ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ, but indeed, he, the person who makes the vow, makes it obligatory upon himself. Now, بِمَنْزِلَةِ دَيْنٍ, and therefore, it is like what? Dain is being compared to what? Debt. Loan. Somebody obligates you to make the loan. No, you make the loan. So if it is a debt, you have to pay it back. True or false? Can you run away from your debt? No, it will chase you. You don't want that. So it is like the vow now. So somebody has to pay for you. نظر طيب. ولهذا شبهه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بدين. Because of that, our Rasul صلى الله عليه وسلم compared the what? The nazar to what? Debt or loan. وأما الصوم الذي فرضه الله عليه ابتداء. But as for fasting, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it obligatory upon him initially. Now, originally, فهو أحد أركان Islam, and for that matter, it's one of the pillars of Islam. What are the pillars of Islam? Shahada. ومنها الصوم. Now, so fasting is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, made mandatory and obligatory, but by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فلا تدخله النيابة بحال. Therefore, it cannot be deputized. Deputization does not go through it. Now, deputization, what do I mean by deputization? Like you will deputize someone to make salah for you. Have you ever done that before? No. No, you don't do that. No. Have you asked someone to what? Go and make so you can do that. Now, طيب. لأن طيب كما لا تدخل الصلاة والشهادتين. So you deputize someone to take the shahada for you. Suleiman, have you done that before? No, you cannot do that. So why do you do that with fasting? You cannot. طيب. فإن المقصود منها طاعة العبد بنفسه. What is required from every Muslim is what? With shahada and salah, it is required that you make the salah by yourself. You are obligated by yourself to take the shahada. This is what makes you a Muslim, right? Now, otherwise, you ask, brother, can you take the shahada for me? And you cannot be Muslim. So if somebody takes the shahada for someone else, make sure that that person is not a Muslim, unless he takes the shahada by himself. Now, here's what our Rasul is referring to. Now, وقيامه بحق العبودية فإن مقصود منها فمن المقصود
إن المقصود منها طاعة العبد بنفسه وقيامه بحق العبودية التي خلق لها وأمر بها، وهذا لا يؤديه عنه غيره ولا يصلي عنه غيره.
This is the ibadah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us for ibadah. Why did Allah create us? Allah created us for what? For his ibadah. So no one can stand for another. So no soul can bear any soul as far as what? Ibadah is concerned. Now, it's like mind your own business and carry your own load. طيب. وقال شيخ الإسلام.
وقال شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله يطعم عنه كل يوم مسكين، وبذلك أخذ أحمد وإسحاق وغيرهما، وهو مقتضى النظر كذا هو موجب الأثر، فإن النظر كان ثابتا في ذمتي فيفعل بعد الموت.
نعم. وقال شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية, this is what Shaykh Islam رحمه الله is saying, يطعم عنه كل يوم مسكين. Therefore, each day that he missed, money will be taken or food will be taken out of his tariqah, as we have said before, and then the poor will be fed. نعم. وبذلك أخذ أحمد وإسحاق وغيرهما. This is the opinion of Ahmed and Isaac and the rest. وهو مقتضى النظر كما هو موجب الأثر, as the narration enforces. فإن النظر كان ثابتا في ذمة فيفعل بعد الموت. Because once he took the vow, when he did take the vow, it becomes what? An obligation that it falls on his squarely on his shoulder. Therefore, it has to be made for him in the same manner that he took the deen. So as Rasul compared the deen, the the dead to what? To the vow or vow to the dead. It means that when you take a day, that is, you take a loan of about maybe $100. How much are you supposed to pay back?
We need more than
$100.
And that is explanation.
Nothing short or more. Now, that's what he's saying. لأن النظر كان ثابتا في ذمتي فيفعل بعد ذلك. نعم. وأما صوم رمضان اقرأ من وأما صوم رمضان.
فإن كان
صام رمضان فإن الله لم يوجبه على العاجز
وما تولد
بل أمر العاجز بالفدية طعام مسكين والقضاء إنما على من قدر عليه لا على من عجز عنه فلا يحتاج إلى أن يقضي أحد عن أحد وأما الصوم لنذر وغيره من المذكورات فيفعل عنه بلا خلاف بأحاديث صحيحة.
Sheikh Islam is saying very plausible things here, very nice, repeating or emphasizing, propping up and reinforcing what we had already said. Beautiful, he said that.
You just wipe it off. Now, just once. But if
one more Som Ramadan, but as for fasting of Ramadan, فإن الله لم يجبه على العاجز عنه. Allah did not make it obligatory upon anyone who cannot afford. If you are traveling, is it obligatory for you to fast? No. طيب. بل أمر العاجز بالفدية في فدية طعام مسكين. So if you can afford, you are a sick person, you cannot afford to make the fasting, then you have what? Fidya, for example, and so forth and so on. So if you cannot afford, there's a way out. There's a substitute for fasting. That is what? Either feeding or fasting or qadwa. Now, as we had that before. والقضاء إنما على من قدر نعم بالأمر العاجز الفدية طعام مسكين والقضاء إنما على من قدر عليه لا على من عجز عنه. So al-qadwa, that is paying back, is for one who was originally able to. Somebody who is able to do, but he cannot do it now. No, originally he is supposed to do it, but because of one reason or another, he's now excused. So when the fasting is over and he regains his strength, then he's supposed to what? Then what? Make up for. Now, so, but initially, if you are fasting, and you are able to fast, you fast. For able bodies, you fast. Now your body is weak by your sickness, you are not able to fast. It is not obligatory upon you at that moment. So that obligation shifts what? Afterward, you regain your health. And then that becomes obligatory upon you to what? Make the qadwa, make up for. Now, فَلَا يُحْتَاجُ إِلَىٰ أَنْ يَقْضِيَ أَحَدٌ عَنْ أَحَدٍ. Because of that, according to Shaykh Islam, rahimahullah, therefore, no one is supposed to make fasting for another person. As far as Siyam Ramadan is concerned, the obligatory fast is concerned. One more some another, but as for the fast of vow or promise, وغير من المنظورات, and in like what? Vows and then promises that we make upon ourselves, we have no cause, we have no other cause, we have no other way but what? Fulfill that obligation by what? Fasting in the same manner as we made the vow. Now, فَيُفَعْلُ عَنْهُ بِلَا خِلَافٍ. And for that matter, the fasting will be made for him without any controversy whatsoever. Lihad hadithi as-sahih, because of very beautiful, wonderful, authentic hadith. Are we all good on that? Now, let us rush through this quickly, and I think we can finish this, inshallah. If you finish and then there's some time, we can take your questions. So we are going to the next chapter now, which is also important. Now, babun fi man yalzamu man aftara li kabirin aw maradin.
Sometimes might
قال
like to
المؤلف
what?
حفظه
Rub it,
الله
rub it.
باب
Now,
فيما يلزم من
or
أثر
what? Squeeze it
كبر أو
back
مرض.
with water.
إن الله سبحانه
Sometimes you need
وتعالى
the
أوجب
water
صوم رمضان على
to wash it
المسلمين
and rub it very
بدءا في
thoroughly
حق
and briskly.
غير
That will take
ذوي
all what? All
ذوي
traces.
الأعذار
No traces left and
وقضاء
no
في
color
حق
is left.
ذوي
Sometimes
الأعذار الذين
the dirt or filth leaves behind the
يستطيعون
color. It
القضاء
is not
في أيام
washed
أخرى.
thoroughly.
وهناك
If that is
صنف
not, then
ثالث
you sort
لا
what we call
يستطيعون
fark.
الصيام
Fark means
أداء
a
ولا
dark. That
قضاء
is a go up
كالكبير
thoroughly. Now, yes, as we are going to
حرم الحرم
your hands, your faces.
كالكبير
How do you wash
الهرم
it?
والمريض الذي لا يرجى
Delk,
لا
delk.
يرجى
That is very
بروحه.
important. Not just rub it,
فهذا الصنف
just
قد خفف
very
الله عنه
lightly, just
فأوجب
rub it.
عليه
If you
بدل
what you
الصيام
call fark.
إطعام
So
مسكين
yes,
كل
you
يوم
require
نصف صاع
squeezing
من الطعام.
of the place,
Shaykh Rahimahullah
stove,
is making introduction to
or
this topic.
rubbing briskly
He says that in Allah
to
Ta'ala
ensure that
أوجب صوم رمضان على المسلمين. Allah has made fasting obligatory upon the Muslims. أدان في حق غير ذوي الأعذار, obligatory upon those who are not supposed to be excused.
فلا يدخل
ذوي
لها عين
الأعذار,
ولا
those
لون.
who can be excused.
فالمغسولات
If you are
على
not
ثلاثة أنواع.
having any legal
النوع
excuse, you are going to fast.
الأول
That's what he's saying.
ما يمكن عصره
قضاء
مثل الثوب
في حق
فلا
ذوي
بد من عصره.
الأعذار.
النوع
So
الثاني
if you are ذوي
ما لا
الأعذار,
يمكن
if you
عصره
have
ويمكن
some legitimate reason, then
كالجود ونحوها
what is
فلا
obligatory
بد
upon you
من
is what?
تغيير.
Qadwa, not Psalm. Qadwa.
النوع
And
الثاني
Qadwa on Psalm. Making up for
So,
what? The Psalm that you are
food
supposed to
or to
make,
wash.
but because
Let's
of your
take
situation,
back again
you couldn't
about
make it.
clothing.
طيب.
You want to wash
الذين يستطيعون القضاء في أيام أخر.
possible.
This is what
That
Allah
you
says in the
can
Quran. So
can
they are going to make up for
the
the
water on you.
fasting
Even rub
that
it
they
on.
missed because of
There
their
are those that
situation,
you cannot
because of their
so
accuse
easily.
on other
But
days.
You
Now,
need to be what? Added a lot of
وهناك
pressure.
صنف ثالث. There's another
Sometimes
group,
you may
third
change,
group.
sometimes you
لا
may
يستطيعون الصيام
turn it
أداء وقضاء أو ولا
upside down.
قضاء.
Or you place
There's another
huge
group. They
material,
cannot fast
huge
either
item what? To squeeze it off. Now,
the
so
actual
the
fast
method
or even
changes.
qadwa. They cannot
Sometimes you can easily rub it
make
off.
qadwa.
Sometimes
They
it
cannot
needs extra
fast,
energy to
which is
press it
obligatory
away. So
upon
it's
them.
what? Now,
Even
what
when
total
they are not fasting,
result will be
they
that
don't hope for
we're
what
able
to make up
what?
for also.
Let out to
They
clean
can't make
what?
up for,
The
they cannot
dirt
fast either.
of the
Is it possible? It's possible.
foam,
Here are they.
so that the purity is ensured. So
Kalkabir,
now, yes, you
big
have
person,
dirty
an
you have
elderly
what?
person, al-harim.
You try
And harim,
wash it.
al-harim
It's
is
not
that person,
perfect.
an
What
elderly
you do,
person. An
you
elderly person
exert
is called
maximum
al-kabir,
pressure.
al-harim. Now,
For any
an elderly
form
person.
of pressure that
Example,
you
for
use
example,
in order to what? To make sure that with water
someone is
you are able to
about
get
80
it,
years old.
off, get
He's
it off.
weak, he cannot fast
All of
now.
these, all
And
of these kind
maybe
of
even
things
someone also, and someone
eliminate
who is
the
sick
that
perennially.
stain
In other words,
your clothing. So stain coming out of
he's
the
so sick that
must be taken care of.
what do you call it? It's perennial. It's almost forever sick.
Rubbing or heavy
Chronically sick. Now,
that it is taken off.
are you going to ask him to fast?
But you have to
You
make sure
have
that
killed him
the
if you say you should
stain
fast.
is gone.
Now, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them the chance. Now, that's another group.
Now,
والمريض الذي لا يرجى برؤه. He is a sick person. He's not expected to be any better. He's not expected to what? To be cured. Now, may Allah save us from that kind of situation. Now, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it what? Minimized for him. He has made it easy on him. Now, reduce the burden on him. فَأَوْجَبَ عَلَيْهِ بَدَلَ الصِّيَامِ. So Allah has made it obligatory upon him. Instead of fasting, إِطْعَامُ مسكين, feeding the poor. Now, so he shall be only feeding. And كُلِّ يَوْمٍ نِصْفُ صَاعٍ مِنَ الطَّعَامِ. We say a plate of food, a food that is okay, that is able to feed and then make someone satisfied. Now, we hope a plate from Rumis can do. It's a plate of food. It's good. It's good to keep us satisfied, right? Now, that's what you need. Now, so forget about any qadwa, making any about paying back, making make up for Ramadan. All that you have to do, elderly person or a terminal ill person who is terminally ill, we say that just feed the poor anytime it is fasting. Just prepare the food, feed the poor, inshallah, and then you're okay. Now, قال تعالى
قال الله تعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها.
Because Allah says that لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah does not place a burden upon any soul, anybody, unless that which he can handle. Now, in fairness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in his justice. وقال تعالى
وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين.
وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين. فدية طعام مسكين. And those who originally before hitherto they can normally do the fasting, but they cannot fast. Fasiyam or fidyatun ayam طعام مسكين. فدية طعام مسكين. They should resort to feeding. Now feeding. فدية طعام مسكين, because they are not able to fast. Now قال ابن عباس
قال ابن عباس رضي الله عنه هي للكبير الذي لا يستطيع الصوم. رواه البخاري.
نعم. This person who normally was able to fast, but because of circumstances, he cannot fast now. He's not being forced to fast, not compelled to fast. Who is he? Ibn Abbas has said that هي للكبير الذي لا يستطيع الصوم. The elderly person who cannot undertake the rigors of fasting. Now, this is, you can find this in Bukhari. Well married,
والمريض الذي لا يرجى برؤه مرضه في حكم الكبير فيطعم عن كل يوم مسكينا.
والمريض الذي لا يرجى برؤه من مرضه في حكم الكبير فيطعم عن كل يوم مسكينا. This is reinforcement. This language is what reinforcing what you are saying. That is the person whose cure is not expected, is terminally ill. What do? We what? Feed the poor. Feed the poor. If cannot feed the poor, we should help him to feed the poor. Now, that's what they can do. Now, one man after
all these things, once they are contaminated,
والمريض مرضا يرجى زواله الحامل والمرضع إذا خافتا على أنفسهما أو على والديهما والحائض والنفساء فإن كلا من هؤلاء يتحتم عليه القضاء بأن يصوم من أيام أخرى بعدد الأيام التي أفطرها. قال تعالى ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخرى.
Here's another group. وَأَمَّا مَنْ أَفْطَرَ لِأُذُنٍ يَزُولٍ. But as for someone who is not fasting because of temporary reason, like whom? كالمسافر, like the person who is traveling. He's not fasting because of what? Who's traveling? Is he forever traveling? والمريض مرضا يرجى زواله. Or someone who is sick. He's sick. Maybe today he's having a very bad headache. Is he going to fast? Maybe. No. But is the headache going to be persistent all his life? No. Once he gets over it, he's supposed to fast. Now, well, hamil. Who's the hamil? The pregnant person. Now, this goes to the woman, the pregnant woman. Now, well, the mother, the nursing mother. Now, إذا خافت على أنفسهما, if they are afraid upon themselves, they are afraid upon themselves. طيب. أو على والديهما, or they are afraid for their children also. Maybe they have the children now, and they really fast, it might affect both themselves and then the children, these women. Well, ha'id, and then the menstruating woman, والنفساء, and the women after childbirth. فلا أو فإن كل من هؤلاء يتهتم عليه القضاء. Each one of these is obligated to what? To fast. I mean, it's obligated for them what? To pay back once what? Their situation is over. Now, so you cannot obligate a nursing mom, a pregnant woman, to what? To fast. No, that is not the law. So what happens? فإن كل من هؤلاء تهتم عليه القضاء. They should make up for the number of days that they were not able to fast. بأن يصوم من أيام أخر بعدد الأيام التي أفطرها. So the number of days that they missed, and therefore when we're not able to make the fasting, they should what? Make up for those days. Now, because of the ayah, وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيضًا عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. And anyone who is traveling or sick, is sick or is traveling, then he should postpone the fasting to another day that he is or she is able to fast. Now, so this is very common that the nursing mom, the menstrual mom, the woman pregnant, the pregnant woman, all of these groups are not obligated to fast at the time they are having these situations. Once the situation is over, then they resort toward the payment of the days that they miss. وفطر المريض نعم.
وفطر المريض الذي يضره الصوم والمسافر الذي يجوز له قصر الصلاة سنة لقوله تعالى في حقهم فعدة من أيام أخرى أي فليفطر وليقضي عدد ما أفطر.
وفطر المريض الذي يضره الصوم والمسافر الذي يجوز له قصر صلاة السنة لقوله تعالى في حقهم فعدة من أيام آخر. This فعدة من أيام آخر, postponement to or deferment to the days, other days that you are able to do, runs through what? As we have said before, a sick person, when he fasts, he will be sick. Now, so he should take time to cure himself or herself. When he or she recovers, then she or he can make up for the days that is missing. So he's constantly reminding us that is the way to go by the Shaykh rahimahumullah. And then وليقضي عدد ما أفطره قال تعالى يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought all this for us so that because Allah wants what is ease. He wants ease for us, not what to plunge us into difficulty or hardship. Allah wants what ease for his servants, not what difficulty. Now, by office now. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم اقرأ.
والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ما خير بين أمرين إلا اختار أيسرهما وفي الصحيحين ليس من البر الصيام في السفر.
There is a popular hadith which says that when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam ma khuyira bin amrin, each time he's made to choose between two issues, what happens? Illa ikhtara aysarahuma, he chose the easier of the two. Now, and here we are, we want to break rocks now. Choose, make it easy on yourself. And there's another hadith, laysa min birr as-siyam fi sabr. It is not part of what? Piety. It is not part of an act of piety to fast when you are traveling. Let me repeat. It is not an act of piety to strive to fast while you are traveling. Now, وإن صام
المسافر أو المريض الذي يشق عليه الصوم صح صومهما مع الكراهة. وأما الحائض والنفساء فيحرم في حقها الصوم حال الحيض والنفاس ولا يصح.
تمام. وإن صام المسافر أو المريض الذي يشق عليه الصوم صح صومهما مع الكراهة. Now, if someone is, however, is sick or someone else is traveling and they choose to fast, their fasting is okay, but it is detested. It is what? Not wanted. It is not wanted, but it is not allowed. I mean, the fasting is allowed, but it is not encouraged. The fasting is allowed and accepted, but it's not what? Encouraged. Now, طيب. But here's the difference. وأما الحائض والنفساء فيحرم في حقهما الصوم على الحيض والنفاس. Wallahi, sir. But as for the menstruating woman or the woman at first childbirth, both of them, you cannot say that they should fast. Their fasting is what? It's not allowed.
Impurity is treated as what?
It is not for them to fast. Once you are doing your haid, a woman is doing her haid, and then after childbirth, these types of women, they are not allowed to fast at all. Now, but if you are traveling, you can fast. You are allowed to fast if you want to. But if you are a woman in her cycle, now chooses to fast, she wants to fast, she can fast, she's able. We say, no. The law of Rasul does not allow you to do that. Don't fast. Now, that's what he's saying. Well, I say, it is not right. It is not correct. This is the word of what? The Shaykh, rahimahullah. Now, well married.
والمرضع الحامل يجب عليهما قضاء ما أفطرتا من أيام أخرى ويجب عمل القضاء على من أفطرت للخوف على ولدها إطعام مسكين عن كل يوم أفطرته.
This is interesting. والمرضع والحامل يجب عليهما قضاء ما أفطرتا من أيام أخرى. We see that والمرضع, the nursing mother, والحامل, and the pregnant woman, يجب عليهما قضاء ما أفطرتا من أيام أخرى. Yes, they have to what? Fast the number of days that they broke. They went to fast. ويجب مع القضاء, and also after the qada, something is added also. ويجب مع القضاء على من أفطرت للخوف على ولدها إطعام مسكين. You see the difference? If this woman, nursing woman, or this pregnant woman is not fasting only because out of fear for her child, then she will make the qada and also she will feed the poor. Previously, if a woman is ordinarily pregnant or nursing mother, nursing the baby, and she's afraid for herself and their children together, then they will make qada. But in this instance, a nursing mom or a pregnant woman is only afraid for the baby alone, not herself. Because of that, she will the qada and also what? The itwab. This is my law. It's very interesting. That is the law of Rasul. قال العلامة ابن قيم.
قال العلامة ابن قيم رحمه الله: أفتى ابن عباس وغيره من الصحابة في الحامل والمرضع إذا خافتا على ولديهما من أن تفطر وتطعم عن كل يوم
الله أكبر الله أكبر.
This message is sourced from Ibn Abbas. This is opinion. وغيره من الصحابة, and a lot of Sahaba, inshallah, they made this fatwa.
أشهد أن لا إله
في
إلا
الحامل والمرضع إذا خافت على ولديهما أن تفطر وتطعم على عن كل يوم مسكينا. That you are going to the qada at the same time. They will make the miskin, إطعام miskin also.
أشهد أن محمد رسول الله.
So that
أشهد أن محمد رسول الله.
Fasting for themselves, that they are free from that the qada. and then they travel for what? For their baby. For fear for their baby.
حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح
scenario in which someone can forgo the fasting. ويجب الفطر على من احتاج إلى إنقاذ من وقع في هلكة. In other words, if anyone is falling into danger, maybe somebody is drowning, somebody is in an inferno, is dying, and you want to rescue the person, and you cannot do that when you are fasting. You need some extra energy, what to help you to what to save, rescue, to salvage the person who is in the wake of danger. So if you happen to be fasting, then you are allowed to what? To break your fast. You can break your fast to what? To get some energy. You can do that. Now, طيب. كالغريق ونهوي, like the drowning person, the person who is drowning, you can see him, he's drowning, is right, going on the water, he's taking water, he's drowning, and you want to what? Save him, rescue him, but you need maybe extra energy to enable to do that. So it doesn't matter, break your fast, and as a matter of to save and rescue the person who is dying. What do you think? It's a huge thing indeed. Now, if you can actually, you have the skills and you need the extra strength by way of break your fast, go for it. Now, you are allowed to do that, and after you break your fast, after fasting is over, then you make up for that day that you were not able to fast. Now, okay, وقال ابن القيم. No.
وقال ابن القيم رحمه الله: وأسباب الفطر أربعة: السفر والمرض والحيض والجوف والخوف من هلاك من يخشى عليه الهلاك بالصوم كالمرضع والحامل ومثله مسألة الغريق.
وقال ابن القيم رحمه الله: وأسباب الفطر أربعة. Things that will make you will vitiate your fasting. There are four. It runs through as-safar, traveling, wal-marad, sickness, wal-haid, menstruation, wal-khawf min halak, and fear for what? For destruction. Hold on. Fear for destruction. wal-khawf min halaki man yuksha alayhi halak bisom. Fasting or breaking your fast to what? To rescue someone who is in danger. Kel murdi, like what? The nursing mother. Because nursing mother is nursing the baby. She's scared of the baby, the health of the baby. Now, well, hamil, the same thing, the pregnant woman. Or mithluhu masalatul ghariq, and also the example that we gave with the drowning, the person who is drowning. All these situations require what? Someone to what? Break the fast, to get extra energy to secure the person. Now, we are coming to the close, inshallah. Let's run.
ويجب على المسلم تعيين نية الصوم الواجب من الليل كصوم رمضان وصوم الكفارة وصوم النذر بأن يعتقد أنه يصوم من رمضان أو قضائه أو يصوم نذرا أو كفارة لقوله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى.
كيف؟ ويجب على المسلم تعيين نية صوم الواجب من الليل. It is obligatory upon anyone who wants to make the obligatory fasting to pick up the what? The intention at night, not during the day, not during the day, at night, before you go to sleep, before it is time for Fajr. Throughout the whole night, you should be able to pick up your fasting and to specify what type of fasting you are going to make. Is it fasting of what? Or the Ramadan fast? Now, كصوم رمضان or صوم كفارة. If it is kafara, you have to name it. Or صوم another, it is that of vow, nam, or promise. بأن يعتقد أنه يصوم رمضان, to make your intention that you want to make Ramadan or qadwa'ihi, or you want to make qadwa, or yasum nadhra, or you are going to make fasting of vow, or kafaratan, they are going to make kafara. All these should what? Be under the ambit of what? Of intention. Why? The delil, innama al-a'mal biniyat, because our Rasul said that all actions are judged by intentions. Wa innama likulli min manawa, and every person shall have what he intended for. Wa Aisha marfu'an. Now.
وعن عائشة مرفوعا من لم يبيت الصيام قبل طلوع الفجر فلا صيام له.
Subhanallah, Aisha reported that ومن لم يبيت صيام قبل طلوع الفجر فلا صيام له. Anyone who does not pick up his fasting intention for fasting during the night before it is done, subhanallah, he has no siyam. So assuming you go to bed, you have not picked up your fasting, you only wake up after Fajr, time for Nia is all over. Now you have entered into siyam. When are you going to make your fast intention? When are you going to make your intention? No, it's all over. It's all over. It's all over. That's what it is indicated here. Now, فيجب
أن ينوي الصوم الواجب في الليل.
And therefore it is obligatory upon you to make your intention at night before it is Fajr. طيب. Now, alhamdulillah. فمن
نوى الصوم النهار كمن أصبح ولم يطعم شيئا بعد طلوع الفجر ثم نوى الصيام لم يجزئه.
فمن أصبح ولم يطعم شيئا بعد طلوع الفجر ثم نوى الصيام لم يجزئه. So if, just as we have said, now you go to bed, you have not eaten anything, you are hoping that so you take some soul, no soul, you overslept, and then you wake up, and then you want to make siyam, you don't have anything. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the law. Now, إلا في تطوع. Now.
إلا في التطوع وأما الصوم الواجب فلا ينعقد بنيته من النهار لأن جميع النهار يجب فيه الصوم والنية لا تنعطف على الماضي.
Now, so niyyah is separate. Every day must have its own intention. Now, so but if it is tatawu, now when you wake up, you have not picked up any intention to make fasting. It is not obligatory, not Ramadan. And then, but you have not eaten anything at all now. But you feel that since the morning, I've not taken in any breakfast, and I feel maybe I can go home and come make fasting. And you pick up your intention for that day of fasting, it is allowed then. If it is what? Tatawu. What is tatawu? Non-obligatory fasting. That is okay. But obligatory fasting or another or kafara, you have to pick up war at the end of the night. There's a difference. Are you okay on that? No. Is it difficult? No. Compassion. There's so much compassion. No. Hold on. We are coming there. We have finished this and we shall come back to it.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
نعم. وما صوم النفل؟
الصوم الواجب.
وأما
الصوم الواجب فلا ينعقد بنيته من النهار، لأن جميع النهار يجب فيه الصوم، والنية لا تنعطف على الماضي.
وأما صوم النفل؟
وأما الصوم النفل فيجوز بنية من النهار. حديث عائشة رضي الله عنها: دخل علي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ذات يوم فقال: هل عندكم من شيء؟ فقلنا: لا. قال: فإني إذا صائم. رواه الجماعة إلا البخاري. ففي الحديث أنه صلى الله عليه وسلم كان مفطرا لأنه طلب طعاما، وفيه دليل على جواز تأخير نية الصوم إذا كان تطوعا، فتخصص به الأدلة المانعة.
أما صوم النفل, so if the fasting is just non-obligatory, فيجوز بنية من النهار, for you can pick your fasting intention during the daytime. It doesn't matter. لحديث عائشة, here is the دليل. A دليل reported or transmitted by عائشة رضي الله عنها: دخل علي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ذات يوم. Rasul came to me one day, فقال, and he said, هل عندكم من شيء? Do you have something, any food, anything? طيب. فقلنا لا. Aisha reported, we don't have anything. There's nothing there for you. قال فإني إذا صائم. Then the Prophet responded and said that if that is the case, then I'm fasting. What do we deduce from this hadith? وروى البخاري نعم روى جماعة البخاري. ففي الحديث أنه صلى الله عليه وسلم كان مفطرا. It means that it is clear, conspicuous, that he was what? Not fasting. He was not fasting. That's why he asked for what? Food. طيب. لأنه طلب طعاما, because he asked for and sought for what? Food. وفي, here's another thing. وفي دليل على جواز تأخير نية الصوم إذا كان تطوعا. This is also another دليل, evidence, proof that you can delay your intention